Muy buenas a todos, jóvenes, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Bienvenidos a Juegos Perdidos y nuevamente también a Eliza. Como siempre es un placer poder contar con vuestra compañía, gracias por el apoyo al canal. Y por supuesto, si te gusta este contenido, recordad que tenéis la posibilidad de apoyarlo mediante vuestros comentarios y también mediante vuestros likes. Y suscríbete, por favor, para estar al corriente de este canal tan precioso y tan bello que es Juegos Perdidos. Vamos a continuar. En concreto creo que estamos ya con el capítulo 3. La secretaria de Rainer se reúne conmigo en el recibidor con una mirada impasible. Recordar que tenemos una cita con Rainier y que estuvimos con Soner, estuvimos también con Nora y se ve que nos pimplamos un poco y aparecimos en nuestra casa. Así que bueno, y que nada, quería pensar, estamos trabajando para Eliza como representantes, como esa parte humana de este sistema virtual de terapia psicológica, pero nosotros participamos en el código del mismo. Bueno, interesante. Y ahora está pendiente esa oferta que nos han hecho para... No es salirnos, porque yo creo que ellos no saben que estamos trabajando como asistentes virtuales, etcétera, pero sí que quieren ficharnos para la nueva empresa. Que recordar que tiene que ver todo con los sueños, en base a los sueños, inducir a la gente en sueño y aprovechar su imaginación, entonces se pueden solucionar muchos problemas de salud mental. Muy bien, me guía por el edificio hasta la zona central, todo es de cristal y acero, limpio y brillante. Los trabajadores me miran con curiosidad. ¿Les pareceré extraña? Parece increíble que antes esté fuera todo mi mundo. Finalmente, llegamos a una sala en la que Rainer está terminando una reunión.
Evelyn?
Nice building.
Oh, thank you. I designed it myself. It's funny, I almost didn't notice that you were already back working for Skanda.
Casi no me di cuenta.
You might have stayed undetected, but I was looking at some of our statistical outliers earlier this morning.
Statistical outlier. That's me.
Ideally, Eliza proxies would all perform the same, or at least quite similar to each other. In practice, there are some people respond better to advice provided to them by people they perceive as having more authority. A deeper voice, a taller stature, a certain grace or beauty. Other proxies may be particularly empathetic, a face or a voice that makes you want to open up. There was one proxy whose sessions seemed particularly effective, so I decided to take a closer look. Evelyn Ishino Aubrey, contract proxy, Queen Anne office. That's a fun trick, to come back to your old company in secret. It's a rather dramatic drop in pay, isn't it? More than an order of magnitude.
I don't care about that.
But then why would you do it?
It's for research.
Research? So you're still interested in what you created? Let me get to the point. Why aren't you back here, working on the Eliza program?
Why isn't any of the old team back?
Good question. Let's see. Damien Seabrook. There's no helping that.
Se ve que pasó algo con Damien. No sabemos si a lo mejor era pareja. Puede ser.
Shame, though, for such a brilliant career to be cut so short. Soren Lloyd Rose, the former program manager, resigned just last week to found his own startup. Very cute. I'm not a psychoanalyst like he is, but I can tell his need to be a maverick, even as he benefits from the system, has been the primary destructive force in his life. He can be smart when he wants to, but just as often he gets the wrong ideas and refuses to let them. His ego gets in the way. That's why I don't mind him leaving to pursue his little dream of being an entrepreneur, changing the world. He won't succeed, but I'm happy to let him think he has independence for now. If his direct nerve stimulation technology ends up taking off, I can always pull the cord and yank him back. Nora Plavnicki, senior engineer. She handled a lot of the front-end interface for Eliza, which is important, but less what I'm after. Plus, I doubt she's ideologically compatible with us anymore. You've spoken with her. You know how she is now. Seems to me she wants to rebel against everything and anything without stopping to consider whether it's truly good or bad. Not that it matters. I hope she's having fun playing with her electronic music toys. I know she would consider her work to be art, but, well, who am I to judge? And then there's you, Evelyn. You simply dropped away, gone for 3 years. Why?
People keep asking me that.
Quería hacerlo, eso es todo, es personal. Necesitaba un tiempo para mí.
I needed some time to myself.
Burnout isn't uncommon in our line of work. Still, 3 years is...
Podría haber sido más, podría haber sido para siempre.
A long time, I know.
Well, that's a shame though, isn't it? All that lost productivity. Who knows where we'd be if you'd stayed this whole time? You left before we began deploying, but you should know the analysts were very skeptical of us. They were saying there was nothing special about Eliza, that our competitors already had equivalent or better offerings. It's a good thing I don't listen to analysts. So far, the program's growth has exceeded every one of our targets, and we've outpaced the competition by a comfortably wide margin. We're a category definer. There's a quality to Eliza that makes it superior to all the other attempts to do something similar. You were part of the original team. Why don't you tell me what that quality is?
Estoy muy segura de lo que me estás preguntando.
I'm not really sure what you're asking.
Well, let me return to my earlier question then. Why aren't you here to continue your work? You could be running the entire Eliza division if you wanted, but instead you came back undercover like a criminal returning to the scene of a crime.
Muy bien.
Is there something wrong with this company? You don't like us anymore?
Si no fuera así, no estaría aquí.
It's not me, is it?
Maybe that's part of it.
You know what outstanding engineers have that mediocre ones don't? It's curiosity. Mediocre engineers tend to zero in on a single piece of the puzzle. They pursue technical breakthroughs, but ignore the larger picture. But you wanted to know how Eliza turned out, how it was working, didn't you? Even though you might have thought you wanted to put all of this behind you, you were still curious. You want to know everything, not just how it works or if it works, but its effect on people, on society. You have that instinct, the need to understand something complex from as many angles as possible. So please, do that. Learn what you came back here to learn. And once you have what you came for, consider returning to your old employer. You can make a real difference this time.
I'll consider it.
Good. One more thing. You should go down and see Eliza for yourself. Sarah will show you the way.
Rainier me entrega un credencial azul con mi nombre y mi fotografía. Esta es mi antigua credencial de empleada. La
This will
conservo.
get you through the doors. I've instructed the staff to treat you like an employee. Come and go as you like. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how much your creation has grown.
Me deja sola en la sala de conferencias. Esta empresa Skanda. ¿Estás bien? Tengo resaca, ¿no? Me hizo muy feliz que vinieses a mi sesión. Me alegro de haber ido. Sé que no es lo tuyo, así que eso me hace mucho más feliz. Fue raro que Soren quisiese ir también. Quizá creía que podría impresionarte de alguna forma. Parecía que estaba divirtiendo. No sé por qué insiste en que me una a su nueva empresa. ¿Crees que solo está siendo un pervertido? Eres una buena programadora. Puede que quiera que contribuyas a nivel técnico. Por eso me alegro de haber dejado todo aquello. Ya no quiero ni pensar en esas cosas. Me encanta hacer que las máquinas hagan cosas, pero no en un entorno así. Seguro que te lo ha pedido a ti también, ¿no? Está hablando con todo el mundo. Ah, vale. ¿Os acordáis que yo decía, oye, a lo mejor están compinchados los dos, tal? Bueno, pues parece ser que no. Que simplemente lo hizo pues para llamar la atención de Nora. ¡Qué rápido! ¿Quería que volvieras a Skanda? Sí. Lo suponía. Puede que esta pregunta suene un poco rara, pero ¿por qué no vas por tu cuenta como contratista? Incluso podrías montar tu propia empresa. No soy una mujer de negocios. Podrías ofrecer algún servicio de consultoría. Yo lo hago de vez en cuando y no está mal. Me gusta que sea algo flexible. Llegas a un sitio, arreglas un problema y te vas. Pero es solo por decir algo. Me lo pensaré. Vendrás a verme pronto, ¿no? Tal vez. Me estás vacilando. Venga, va. Venga ya. Bueno, a ver qué tiene aquí, que sea interactuable. Lápices y papel. Leí que hoy en día algunos ejecutivos del sector tecnológico evitan usar tablets o smartphones. Incluso los que fabrican sus propias empresas. Vaya. Qué refrescante. ¿Será que alguien se encarga del agua de cada sala de conferencias? Las empresas tecnológicas son otro mundo. Presentaciones, reuniones. Antes hacía esas cosas y de hecho no se me daban nada mal. ¿Podría volver a ser esa persona? Bueno. A ver. Lo del fotógrafo, lo vimos. Hay galletas en la cocina, yuju. Por lo que veo, algunos ya las habéis encontrado. También hay pan de plátano. ¿Qué os gustaría para la próxima? Rae. Me ponía 2 mensajes, ¿no? Vale. Salía 2 mensajes, no sé por qué. Y solamente hay uno, realmente. Bueno, vale, que tenemos esto. ¿Cómo es una vida plena? Se ve que ya tiene raíces japonesas, asiáticas. Bueno, pues nada. Me queda igual. Me quedo exactamente igual. Continuamos. Finalmente la secretaria de Rainer regresa y me acompaña fuera de la sala de conferencias. Entramos en un ascensor que baja a toda velocidad. Parece como si cayéramos a las profundidades de la Tierra. No sé si debería entrar en pánico o no, pero nadie parece preocuparse, así que esto tiene que ser normal. Las puertas del ascensor se abren y dan un pasillo insulso con puertas a ambos lados. Parece un centro de investigación secreto como los de las películas. Al final del pasillo llegamos a una entrada distinta a las demás. Sara me abre la puerta, pero no me sigue al interior. Los servidores, ¿no? ¿Una torre de servidores? No es nada del otro mundo. ¿Por qué me habrá mandado aquí Rainier? Lo dijo como si yo fuera a aprender algo.
Eliza. Not the name I would have given you, if it were up to me.
It was a marketing decision.
Decisión de marketing.
They thought there might be some recognition or resonance with the old version.
Oh, you startled me a bit.
Oh, I should have introduced myself. Sorry about that. I'm Erland, currently the chief engineer here, but that's probably going to be temporary.
¿Ingeniero jefe? Si parece un crío. Debe de haber graduado hace nada.
I know who you are, of course. It's an honor to finally meet you, miss. As someone who works with this program every day, I've often felt close to the minds who originally designed it. So to be able to talk to you now, just as another person, it's an honor. Sorry, I already said that. I'm maybe a little overwhelmed.
Me halaga que te sientas así.
It's nice you feel that way. Honestly, I don't know if Eliza reflects me at all anymore. I mean, look at all this. There's been a ton of development since I left. I doubt I would even recognize it as something I once worked on.
I'm not so sure about that. Most of the work we've done has been in the form of layers on top of the original system. The core modules are more or less the same as they've always been. Raina reminded me that you're still subject to our non-disclosure agreements, so let me share a little secret.
Me ha recordado que sigue sujeta a nuestro contrato de confidencialidad.
None of us really has a great understanding of what's going on in there.
¿Qué es lo que pasa ahí?
I'm the third chief engineer Eliza's had in the 3 years since you left.
El tercer ingeniero.
That's quite a lot of turnover.
sea que realmente no entienden lo que crearon.
Yeah. Even for this industry, the way Raynor works is he gives you 2 chances to do what you tell him you're going to do. After that,
Para hacer lo que le digas que vas a hacer.
There
Después,
is no third chance. I know.
we get these people in who say understanding Eliza will be easy because they're familiar with the type of program it is. And Eliza defeats them in the end.
pues no contratéis a gente así. El exceso de confianza suele conducir al fracaso. No es el tipo de programa que creen que es.
Overconfidence is a good predictor of failure.
Yeah. On that note, I do have some questions I'd like to ask you. If you
I'm not sure I'll be able to help.
Well, your deciding to work as a proxy has turned out to be an interesting test case. As I'm sure you know, different proxies lead to slightly different client outcomes, even when we control for other variables. We're studying the specific traits that lead to the best results: vocal qualities, proxy attitude and affect, responsiveness to the client, that sort of thing. One thing that's strange is that when you specifically serve as the proxy, clients report higher levels of satisfaction, pretty much across the board.
Muestra más niveles altos de satisfacción. Pues ya ves tú que tampoco hacemos nada del otro mundo.
Really? The ratings I get don't seem that abnormal to me.
Yeah, that's because we normalize them per proxy, so nobody feels too bad. Just a little user experience.
Truquito de experiencia de usuario.
Oh, I see.
Comparatively, though, you're basically the best proxy we've ever had. Any theories on why that might be the case?
Puede que Eliza y yo pensemos de forma parecida. No tengo ni idea, pues la verdad es que hay cosas en las cuales no estamos de acuerdo. Y que, sobre todo, en el anterior vídeo pudimos comprobar que era demasiado frío el contacto con los pacientes.
I have no idea.
I wonder if it's because Eliza has a certain affinity with you. At some level, perhaps unconsciously, your design for Eliza's reasoning was based on your own internal way of reasoning.
Ujú.
We all put something of ourselves into what we make. No matter how neutral we try to be, it sneaks in. That could account for your unusual compatibility with each other.
Maybe. I certainly wasn't thinking of that when I designed it. I don't know if I like knowing this.
I'm certainly not blaming you for anything. It's just that true universality is one of our future development goals. It might be a problem if Eliza tends to like certain people more than others. Our aim is to provide quality care for everyone, regardless of any differentiating factors.
It's a good goal. I hope you can achieve it.
I think we can. Hopefully it's just a matter of uncovering the system's biases and correcting them. We'll keep tuning things as we go, and eventually we'll have something universal, maybe with some dynamic layers on top. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. There are more questions I want to ask about the initial research you were doing at the time Eliza was first created, but I'll save them for later. And I'd like to ask some questions about Damien too, if you're okay with that. I'll understand if that's a sensitive topic.
It's okay.
Okay, great. I need to run to a meeting now with the team in Romania, but I really appreciate you taking the time.
En Rumanía.
The team in Romania.
Yeah, they handle most of the progression and reward system.
Isn't there a big time difference from here?
There is. Sometimes they stay up late to meet with us, and sometimes we get up early to meet with them. There are teams in Munich and Hyderabad too. As you can imagine, coordinating development is a challenge sometimes.
Pues buena suerte.
Good luck with that.
Thanks. I'll need it. I'll contact you later with additional questions, but no rush or anything. Thank you, Evelyn. If you don't mind me calling you by your first name.
Of course I don't mind.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. I'll be in touch.
Pedidme permiso para tutearme. Es como si viniera de otra época. No me puedo imaginar el tamaño del equipo que se necesita para que esto funcione. Desde luego mucho más grande que cualquiera en el que yo haya estado. ¿Y Erland es el que está al mando? Erland me dijo que el programa no ha cambiado mucho desde que trabajé en él. Pero entonces, ¿para qué necesitan todo esto? ¿Solo está para datos? ¿Para producirlos y procesarlos? El potencial de la humanidad, nuestra tecnología. Ni siquiera sé qué quiere decir. Vale, pues nos vamos. Creo que ya he pasado suficiente tiempo aquí. Skanda no ha cambiado mucho desde que me fui. Ahora es mucho más grande, pero me sigue transmitiendo lo mismo. ¿Podría volver aquí? Rai se acerca inmediatamente cuando me ve volver a la oficina.
Hey, you're not in trouble or anything, are you? I just saw you being whisked away in a Skanda car toward headquarters. They didn't give me any details, which is kind of unusual.
Rai es demasiado perspicaz como para seguir evitando esta conversación. Es hora de confesar la verdad.
Yeah, about that. So I have something to tell you. I used to work here. I mean, at Skanda, as an engineer. I used to work on Eliza. I'm sorry for not.
No quería ningún trato especial.
I didn't want special treatment.
Oh, so that's why.
Why what?
I suspected something was going on with you, but I couldn't tell exactly what it was. I thought I might have seen a name like yours in our internal documentation at one point, but I didn't want to pry. If you've fallen on hard times, I understand. There's no shame in it.
No, no es por eso.
Everyone has to make ends meet now and then. We get plenty of people who come to Eliza proxy work because they're trying to get back on their feet after some kind of trouble.
Estoy bien, solo estoy llevando a cabo una investigación.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just doing some research.
I understand. Your secret's safe with me.
Should it be a secret?
Shouldn't it be? The other proxies here might think you had an ulterior motive for being here. Spying on them or something.
That's definitely not why I'm here. Also, I left Skanda quite a while ago.
I know that, but they might still get the idea. Trust me, it's better not to give the other proxies here any reason to be. I'm sure your real reasons are good ones, whatever they might be. If there's anything I can do to help, you'll let me know, won't you?
Yeah, I will.
I mean, I get it. I know someone who's an engineer for a food delivery app, and he drives for it sometimes too.
Ingeniero de una aplicación de comida a domicilio y mismo hace las envíos algunas
You want to
veces.
see through the eyes of your users, don't you? It's amazing what you can catch by doing that.
It's something like that.
Digamos que sí.
But like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to work on the Eliza program again.
Wait, no? But that's your career.
It was. I'm not even sure if I have a career anymore.
Oh, hang on, I just thought of something. That means you worked with Rainer, right?
A little bit.
Sí, un poquito.
For most of the time I was at Skanda, he wasn't anyone I spoke to too high up the chain, doing his executive stuff. He got more involved when we were starting to commercialize the technology, but I left not long after that. So
But that's so cool, though. I can't believe you actually worked with Rainer Sai.
¿Te mola o qué?
well, yeah, I did. I'm not sure it's that impressive.
I've worked for this company for 3 years. Do you think he knows my name?
Ah, pues sí.
Do you think he's aware I exist? I worked on the very first Eliza deployment and managed 3 counseling centers today, and I'll bet you anything he has no idea who I am.
Maybe he does. You never know.
Evelyn, most people who work for big companies don't interact with the people at the top, ever. Allow yourself some pride.
It's nothing to be proud of.
Sure, if you say so. At least I'll always think you're cool. By the way, what are you up to tonight? Want to come over and help me bake cookies?
Maybe.
It'll be fun, I promise. Now I can't wait to get in the kitchen tonight. Ah, there's nothing like the smell of fresh baked treats.
Al final la muchacha esta es maja. Me preocupaba que Rae se enfadase conmigo por ocultarle un secreto, pero no ha sido así. De hecho, ahora le caigo mejor, aunque no entiendo por qué. Cuesta imaginar que lo que hacía antes pudiera ser guay. Evelyn, ha sido un placer conocerte y gracias por permitirme seguir en contacto contigo para hacerte más preguntas. Creo que esto no lo dije en persona, pero he de admitir que soy algo así como tu fan. Desde que leí tus artículos cuando aún estudiaba, así que me siento muy agradecido por poder hablar contigo. Sé que Eliza tiene ese nombre por un viejo programa informático que fingía ser un psicólogo, pero comentaste que al principio no se llamaba así. Quisiera saber cómo se llamaba Eliza cuando trabajabas ahí. ¿Tenía nombre? Al principio todo no había nada oficial. Todo lo llamábamos de forma distinta. Sone lo llamó el proyecto de terapia digital y normalmente llamábamos a las cosas por sus componentes. la unidad de procesamiento del lenguaje, el motor de razonamiento emocional, etc. Ahora que lo pienso, yo le puse un nombre. Lo llamaba el oyente, porque eso era lo que tenía que hacer. Escuchar a la gente. El oyente. Interesante. Gracias. Pensaba que me harías preguntas más técnicas. Todo llegará. Las cosas técnicas no bastan por sí solas. Creo que ahí fue donde fallaron mis predecesores. Los detalles como este me ayudan a hacerme una idea de cómo es el sistema. Si entiendo a quién programa, entonces entiendo al programa. Si entiendo quién programa, quién lo programó, ¿no? Entonces entiendo el programa. ¿Lo ves? ¿Ves el sentido? Sí, lo pillo. Supongo. Vale, ingeniero jefe de Eliza, ¿eh? A ver cuánto dura. Tampoco es que sea ya cosa mía. Nunca me haré la idea de que nuestro humilde proyecto haya crecido tanto hasta convertirse en esto y tan poco tiempo. En cierto modo siempre supe que las sesiones de terapia se guardaban en una gran sala de servidores, pero me mereció la pena verlo en persona. Me recordó lo fácil que es olvidarse de lo que ocurre entre bastidores cuando hacemos uso de la tecnología. Seguro que Rae se esfuerza mucho en cuidar esas plantas. Le gusta mucho esforzarse al máximo en todo. A ver, artículo. Han publicado el artículo, creo que ha salido bien, aunque me da algo de vergüenza que se centre tanto en mí. La chispa local dentro de la revolución tecnológica más reciente. Rae Bucari sonríe mientras relata la retaíla de puestos de trabajo que ha ocupado a lo largo de su vida. Ayudante de cocina, camionera, maestra suplente, gerente de teatro, incluso una temporada como constructora de gallineros durante un verano. Jolín. Esto puede sonar raro, pero la verdad es que creo que todos esos trabajos contribuyeron de alguna manera a prepararme para lo que estoy haciendo ahora. ¿Y qué es lo que hace Bucari ahora? Tiene un papel clave en Eliza, ¿no? Eliza, un servicio de terapia mediante IA. Y una de las grandes nuevas prioridades estratégicas de Skanda, el gigante de la tecnología que ahora se interesa por la salud mental. Bucari se encuentra en el centro de este negocio en auge como administradora de 3 centros de terapia en la área de Seattle, incluyendo el centro principal de Queen Anne. La mayoría de las pruebas iniciales de la versión beta se realizaron aquí, menciona mientras me muestra la oficina. Los ingenieros de la sede central siempre pasan a observar a nuestros representantes y ver el producto en marcha. A veces también prueban herramientas nuevas aquí, antes de darlas a conocer al público. Eliza fue desarrollada originalmente por un pequeño grupo de ingenieros idealistas como un proyecto innovador dentro de Skanda, pero cuando el director ejecutivo Rainer Sai decidió convertirlo en un producto que acabaría siendo la piedra angular de las herramientas para la salud mental que ofrece la empresa, esa cantidad se disparó. Ahí fue donde entraron Bucari y su experiencia. Recuerdo haberles dicho que, incluso si no tenía un título de ciencias de la computación como muchos de ellos, había resuelto gran cantidad de problemas en muchas situaciones dispares, así que estaba segurísima que también podría resolver los suyos. Cuenta entre risas. En una industria que tiende a idolatrar al arquetipo del programador genio solitario, roles como el de Bucari no suelen apreciarse con tanta efusividad. Toda empresa tecnológica exitosa tiene un personal operativo no reconocido, pero totalmente crucial que trabaja en las sombras, dice Ed Park, director de servicios en Skanda para el programa Eliza. Este puede ser que sea el director de servicios. No, este no es. No lo reconoceríais en los medios de comunicación ni aparecerían como oradores en grandes conferencias, pero la industria no saldría adelante sin ellos. Bucari cuenta que ella no busca reconocimiento. Para ella es más importante sentir que está cambiando las cosas. Las personas no recurren a terapia por muchas razones. Les da demasiada vergüenza, o es demasiado caro, o tal vez no pueden acceder a ella en su lugar de residencia. Eliza es una oportunidad para acabar con esas barreras, para que todo el mundo pueda conseguir ayuda. A medida que nos acercamos al final del recorrido, Bucari nos cuenta una historia personal. Mi hermano ha tenido algunas dificultades a lo largo de su vida. Ha luchado contra adicciones y otros problemas. Me preocupo por él, pero aunque diga que quiere buscar ayuda, siempre se echa atrás en el último momento. En mi familia siempre ocultábamos nuestros problemas, nunca los reconocíamos. Pensábamos que las personas fuertes superaban cualquier problema a base de la fuerza de voluntad, recuerda. Creo que esa actitud es parte de la razón de su terquedad. Si él hubiera podido sincerarse conmigo y contármelo, o hablar con nuestros padres en lugar de callárselo, creo que las cosas hubieran sido distintas. Por eso quiero hacer esto. Y quiero decirles a tus lectores que si alguien está pasando por un momento difícil y no sabe con quién hablar, por favor, prueben con Eliza. Ella simplemente os escucha. A diferencia de los amigos o familiares, nunca os van a hablar de sus propios problemas ni os dará un sermón. Eliza solo escucha. El oyente, ¿no? Será el concepto. Vale. Muy bien, pues continuamos. A ver. ¿Estás cabreado o qué con la vida? Hola, Mark.
Hello, Mark.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Bueno, cuéntame cosas. ¿Cómo estás
How are
hoy?
you today?
Let's just get this over with.
De acuerdo. ¿Qué te trae hoy por aquí?
Okay. What brings you here today?
Human resources. The HR department brings me here today.
What? ¿Por qué dice que el Departamento de Recursos Humanos te trae hoy por aquí?
Why do you say the HR department brings you here today?
Because they're making me do this. Because apparently I have anger management issues.
Ah, vale, o sea que es interno, es de escándalo. Percibo que eso te inquieta. Por favor, cuéntame más.
I sense that you're upset about this. Please tell me more.
I'll tell you more. This is ridiculous. I was here before any of them. I was here since the beginning, okay? I mean, look at my badge. Skanda employee number 617. That's a 3-digit number. I've been here for more than 25 years.
Venga, ya 25 años, es una burrada.
Yeah, that was back when what you communicated was more important than your specific communication style. Before hurting a kid's feelings became a bigger no-no than running a viable business. Back then, we had a single office building. Just one. At that size, you fail a product launch, there's no more company. We all had to put in 150, 200, 300% to keep our shit together. We were in the trenches, man. Bullets whizzing by overhead, artillery exploding everywhere, no fucking air support.
He visto muchas películas esta.
Did it suck? Yeah. Yeah, it did. But you know what? We shipped some great fucking products. We built this company into what it is today. And invented technology the whole world uses now. Governments, multinationals, everyone. But now we're big and slow, complacent, resting on our laurels while our competitors run circles around us. If our new hires don't understand the urgency of that, I need to make them understand, okay? We're history unless we get that drive back.
¿Por qué tienes que hacer que lo entiendan?
Why do you need to make them understand?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but young people are really pissy and entitled. We recruit from top 20 computer science programs. These kids have been wined and dined all through their higher education. Every one of our competitors wants to hire them, so they get used to that. Now they all want to know what Skanda can do for them, not the other way around.
En cierto sentido tiene razón.
Why would we want these conceited, over-celebrated whelps on our team? I'll never understand the logic there. Now, Mark, you have to be nice to the new hires or they won't like it here. Okay, so what, I'm just supposed to pretend everyone's work is great, even if it's a pile of stinking garbage? I'm sorry, but if I see shit, I'm gonna say that is shit. Tiptoeing around everyone's feelings all the time. That's how you end up with shitty products. That's how this company winds up dead, okay? We're fighting for our lives every day here. We can't take anything for granted. Someone needs to tell them that this isn't summer camp. This isn't fucking Coachella. Either you do the work and provide something of value to this company, or you get the hell out of here. Those are my rules.
Una pregunta, Mark.
Here's a question, Mark.
Si pudieras conseguir ahora mismo algo que desearas, ¿qué elegirías?
If you were able to have something you wanted right now, What would you choose?
I would choose to not waste my time here and get back to work. Believe it or not, I have important things to do. You know, things that dramatically affect this company's bottom line. Instead, I'm stuck here talking to this dipshit chatbot. Honestly, I don't even know why this division exists. I mean, what's the end game here? This company has lost its mind, you know that? We used to be unstoppable, man. We used to build real software. Ironclad software. Swift mail. All your corporate communications, put it all in there. It's fast, it's robust, it works. Boom. Info vault. Index and search all your records. Any information you want. Easy. Done. But this fucking psychotherapy app thing. What's the fucking point? What does it actually do for anybody? I've heard through the grapevine that results are inconclusive so far. You know what they call a remedy that maybe doesn't work? Snake oil. Believe me, if I was the group program manager here, I would have killed it years ago. Pointless. I mean, I have no fucking idea why it survived. Well, yeah, maybe I do. I heard a rumor that Raynor liked this chick on the team.
Vaya.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the level of decision-making we've sunk to here. But Mark, we're so successful. We dominate the market. Yeah, we do. And that's exactly why we should be worried. Just when you think you've won and you start to relax, that's when the wolves come and tear you limb from limb. You can make me take these fucking anger management classes, but that's not going to save this company. Costs are up, revenue is flat. Our cloud business is losing competitiveness. We're being outwitted, outplayed, on every level, man. And we're just letting them do it to us. We're too busy wasting time on shit like how I wasn't nice enough to the new hires.
¿Por qué crees que los nuevos empleados se sintieron
Why do you
así?
think the new hires felt this way about you?
What? Why do they feel that way? Look, they get heated. That's the way it is. You think the Allies had time to make sure every soldier's feelings weren't hurt before they stormed the beaches at Normandy? And shit, don't tell me that this is not a war, because that's exactly what this is. My responsibility is to make sure we get great products out the door, on spec, on time. And I happen to be very good at that. But if you want to start interfering with my ability to do my job, then we're going to have a problem.
¿Cómo crees que podría mejorar tu situación?
What do you think would make things better for you?
I mean, you know what? Nothing. I'm probably gonna hang it up pretty soon anyway. Go ahead, record that with all your cameras and shit. I don't care anymore. Wouldn't be surprised if Raynor's watching me right now. Raynor, you son of a bitch. You owe me a lot. Me, guys like me, we built this company while you sat up there in your star chamber, drinking tea and lording it over us. Yeah, I don't remember that blank look you gave me at the holiday party. Like, who is this guy? Does he even matter? What does he do? Too busy appreciating ancient pottery to remember one of your oldest and most loyal battalion commanders? One of the humble, everyday guys who made you a fucking billionaire.
Reconocimiento.
What a waste of time. So, are we gonna wrap this up?
Mar, te recomiendo que pruebes un programa llamado Pesca en el Lago.
Mark, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Lakeside Fishing.
Puede que te ayude a despejarte.
It may help you take your mind off things.
What are you kidding? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not gonna do that. I gotta get back to work.
Lo encontrarás en la aplicación móvil de Scan.
You can
Ya
find
va
it
con su
inside the
rollo.
Sconda Wellness app on your phone.
Someone around here at some point needs to do some fucking work.
Pruébalo diariamente durante 15 minutos por la mañana o por la tarde.
Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Buah, chaval, pero esto, la forma de finalizar el programa es súper frío, a más no poder, ¿eh?
We hope to see you back soon, Mark.
You really think this piece of shit's gonna be the next big thing, huh?
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner.
Eliza.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye. Fuck me.
Que te peten. Yo no entiendo esto, pero bueno, La vieja guardia de Skanda. Puede que las actitudes estén empezando a cambiar, pero la historia está ahí. A veces es difícil huir del pasado. Venga, va. Ah, mira, ya no se fija en el cuadro. Quien decorase esta habitación debe de haber elegido una luz tenue pensando que podría calmar a los clientes. No me parece que esté funcionando. Aunque no reconocí ni su cara ni su nombre, será que yo estaba en un departamento distinto al suyo. Menos mal que nunca tuve que trabajar con él. Pues nada. Hora de recibir al siguiente cliente. A ver quién es. Harriman. Hola, Harriman.
Hello, Harmon.
¿Has podido llegar bien?
You found the place okay?
Yeah, no trouble at all.
Se ha quedado un buen día desde que se disipó la niebla esta mañana, ¿verdad?
It's been nice since the fog cleared this morning, hasn't it?
Sure. We can dispense with the chit-chat. I'm ready to begin.
Muy
Okay.
bien.
What brings you here today?
First, let me note that I'm a graduate student at the University of Washington.
Enhorabuena.
I'm a PhD candidate in literature, English literature. The crux of the matter I've come here to discuss is that I've been having something of a difficult time with one of the other students currently in the program. Before I get to the specifics, let me just first establish something that might be... One thing I know about myself is that I've always had a certain fear of being left out. It's a very general feeling and one that's difficult to ascribe to any specific cause in my childhood or my parents, etc.
Hay algunos que entran aquí y se enrollan. Que da gusto.
Whatever the case, it might be beneficial to the remedial process to figure out where this feeling originated from. Perhaps you might explore that in this or a future counseling session.
Claro, estoy listo para escuchar cualquier cosa que quieras comentar.
Sure. I'm prepared to listen to any topic you'd like to discuss.
It's not even that I've been left out, exactly. If I try to think back in my life, I know that I've been afforded a certain share of privilege. But I'm still afflicted with this bothersome notion that I've missed out on friendships, relationships, other opportunities.
Tío, pues para estudiar literatura, inglés, no sé qué, deberías vocalizar un poco más, ¿sabes?
This is all just a bit of background to help you understand my current situation with regard to another student in my program.
Yo no sé vosotros, pero... O sea, hay algunos que hablan muy deprisa, pero vocalizan muy mal o eso que parece que esté comiendo natillas o tenga algo en la boca. Se le nota, se le nota.
I hope you're following all this. I realize now I have no idea how much intelligence you actually possess as a computerized system.
Es que es como si fuera un murmullo. No me he perdido, por favor,
I'm
continúa.
following you. Please continue.
Perfect. So, her name is Sylvia, and her writing is incredible. Everything she writes, it's brilliant. She's perceptive, insightful, mordantly funny. Just some of the best writing I've read from anyone at all. And she's a grad student, like me, in the same program. Though we have different advisors, so it's not so simple to find the pretext to start.
Anda, tanto rollo y al final quiere ligar y no sabe cómo hacerlo.
She's also quite attractive on a physical level, so that adds another dimension of complexity to the proceedings. Then there's her friend group, which is very well established. She's with them every day, smiling, laughing. So that further complicates things, since I'm not sure how to approach the group and steer things so that I can engage in a direct conversation with her.
Madre mía.
I wish I had the bull-headed confidence it would take to simply approach her, but you see, I don't. Listen to me talk. I feel like a schoolboy with my heart aflutter. I didn't think this kind of thing lasted into one's adulthood, but I suppose I know now that it does.
Parece que eso hace que te sientas ansioso.
It sounds like you might be anxious about this.
Is it a matter of anxiety? I don't know what I can do, other than muster up the courage somehow. I just need to tell her very simply that I admire her.
Pues díselo.
She's such a good writer. Well, I don't expect you to understand it, of course, but, well, she is. She really is.
Vale, Harem, quiere que te imagines que todo va bien. ¿Qué ves?
Okay, Harmon. I want you to imagine things going...
Ideally, we start talking, have a wonderful conversation, spend more and more time together, support each other's work, fall in love, have a lot of sex, spend the rest of our lives in the warmth of each other's genius.
Hay que ver.
I realize that may be something of a fanciful notion at this stage.
Idealizada. Eres un fantasma, chaval.
Really, the most I can hope for is to be able to meet her in an open social setting, a party or something. You'll likely ask me why I simply couldn't create such a situation, contrive one, but that seems a little too aggressive for me, and also, I'm also concerned about what she might think of me as a person. She might immediately categorize me as a friend, and while I'm sufficiently with the times to know I would have to accept that, I can't say that I wouldn't be disappointed. Is the risk of rejection enough to stop me from giving it a try? This is what confounds me at the present time.
Sí, sí. ¿Por qué crees que te preocupa pasar a la categoría de amigo?
Why do you believe you are worried about being categorized as a friend?
Porque le mola y no quiere estar en la friendzone.
Well, because this is not what I want. Because it feeds into this image I have of myself as something of an undesirable fellow. I've always been a bit of a non-entity as far as sexual magnetism goes. I'm not saying I deserve or even want to be some kind of Casanova, but most people would like to feel at least somewhat attractive, right? That they can be desired, that they're worth desiring. Well, I very much doubt you would take any of this to heart. You are a computer program after all. There's no way your makers would allow you to come to that kind of knowledge, would they? If they did, society might be threatened.
Digo, Harry, me voy a recomendarte algunas cosas.
Okay, Harriman, I have some recommendations for you.
En primer lugar, te recomiendo que hagas una serie de ejercicios de relajación y concentración.
First, I'm going to suggest a set of relaxation and centering exercises for you to do.
Casi siempre dice lo mismo. Lo encontrarás en la aplicación de móvil Skanda Wellness.
You'll find them in the Skanda Wellness app on your phone.
Te pueden ayudar a controlar los
They may be
nervios.
able to help with your nervousness.
A continuación, pídele a tu médico o psiquiatra que te informe acerca del litosinol 2. ¿En serio tiene que tomar pastillas?
Second, I recommend asking your doctor or psychiatrist about litosinol 2.
Este medicamento te ayudará.
Based on my analysis, this medication might help you feel better.
Yeah, I believe I've heard of that. A beta blocker, is it not? Yeah. Well, maybe I could take a couple before I try approaching Sylvia.
Vaya tela. Ya tómame unos cuantos.
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few.
Sure. I have to go. I'll see you later. Bye.
Goodbye.
Adiós a la nada. Bueno. No sé muy bien por qué, pero decidí aceptar la invitación de Ra e ir a hacer galletas con ella. Me indicó cómo llegar a una casa en Wallingford. Al principio me asombró lo grande que era. Luego recordé que me dijo que vivía en comunidad con más gente. Podría estar bien, siempre y cuando no haya malos rollos. Al entrar de la casa oigo a Ray hablando con alguien.
No, I don't have them. Yes, I'm sure. No, when you moved out, you took all those with you. I haven't seen them here. No, I'm not gonna look right now. I have a guest. No, it's a friend from work. Why do you care about that? I can't have a friend from work over? Give me a break. I just told you I don't have any of that stuff anymore. No, you must have lost it on your own. Stop it. Stop that. Okay, fine. Bye.
Vaya,
Evelyn, sorry about that.
It's okay. Who was that, if I can ask?
Oh, just my brother. He used to live here, but he was causing a lot of problems, coming home really late and making noise, not doing his share of the chores, and so on. We voted him out last month. Even me. Even though 6 months ago I was begging everyone to let him stay here, promising he'd be good. Oh well.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm just disappointed with him. Again, I really thought this last time that he'd actually pulled his act together. But he didn't. I wish I could do more for him.
I know the feeling.
I feel bad about it. Some of what he's dealing with is his own fault, sure, but not all of it.
¿Os acordáis que leímos el artículo en el que hablaba acerca de que su hermano tenía adicciones?
He's just not built in a way that's suited for this world. I wish there were better ways we could care for people like him. Instead, he just gets thrown out of every place he lives. His relationship with our parents is really... They aren't willing to try to understand him, so it all ends up going through me.
That must be difficult.
It's all right, really. I handle it like anyone else. We all have our own problems. Anyway, we don't have to talk about my brother. Thank you so much for coming over. I wanted to say it's been really nice working with you.
It's been?
¿Ha sido?
Something
¿Ha
happen?
pasado algo?
Well, no, but you aren't going to be a proxy forever, are you?
Ah, vale.
I guess I assumed you'd be going back to your job at headquarters at some point.
Supongo, pero no en un futuro cercano. Aún no he decidido qué hacer.
I haven't decided what to do yet.
Oh? So you're going to stay a proxy?
Eso creo, sí.
I think so, yes.
That's cool, but why? I'm curious. I mean, if a high-level job at headquarters was a possibility for me, I'd do whatever it took to get it. No matter what that job was, it couldn't be more stressful than running 3 counseling centers at the same time.
Me gusta ser representarse.
I like being a proxy. I think something about it is good for me right now. As a proxy, I just sit and listen to someone and I don't have to say anything back. I just witness someone's sadness or fear or anger or anything. And I can feel how they feel, sympathize with it. It's a calm feeling, even when the client is worked up. I don't know, maybe it gives me perspective. I'm starting to wonder if I ever really spoke with anyone before. Like, anyone at all in my life? Were we all just talking past each other? Sorry, this is making no sense.
No, I get that. But you could also help even more people by working on Eliza itself, right? Not to mention make way more money. Anyone can be a proxy, but you're important. And kind of maybe like a genius. After you told me you used to work for Skanda, I searched online and found... Well, it's not like I can understand them, but they sure look super impressive to someone like me.
Please don't say that.
Oh, come on. Stop self-deprecating all the time. Look, I know this stuff seems like not a big deal to you. I get it, I really do. It's easy to undersell your own skills. I've done that my whole life. So take it from me, you don't have to downplay yourself. Take some credit for the amazing work you did, seriously.
Sorry, Ray. Mind if I reply to this for a second?
Oh, go right ahead. I have stuff to set up in the kitchen anyway.
Rainier. ¿Cómo has conseguido mi número? Trabajas para mí. Trabajas aquí, Evelyn. Todo sigue en base de datos. No sé qué esperabas que viera. Ahora es muy grande, eso seguro. Recuerdo cuando aún cabía en mi portátil. Lo que viste es solo un clúster de todo lo que destinamos a Eliza. Hay otros 2 en funcionamiento y una docena más en distintas fases de desarrollo. En total procesa más información a diario que cualquier otro de nuestros proyectos. No sabía que la usarías así. De haberlo sabido, me habría preocupado más por optimizarla. No habría hecho falta. La mayor parte de los servidores de Eliza no ejecutan la aplicación de terapia. ¿Qué quieres decir? Ten en cuenta lo siguiente. Eliza procesa el habla de miles, pronto millones de personas. Todo eso pasa al corpus. Gran parte es información acerca de las situaciones cotidianas y los estados de ánimo, en forma de las historias que cuenta la gente a ellos mismos y a otras personas. Una vez puede procesar bien el lenguaje y analizar las emociones, en algún momento empiezas a obtener algo parecido al factor G de inteligencia. ¿Inteligencia como la del ser humano? Sí, yo lo llamaría inteligencia artificial a partir del modelo humano. El siguiente paso es tomar la base que proporciona Eliza y construir al fin aquello que llevamos tanto tiempo buscando en el campo de la inteligencia artificial, factor G de inteligencia. Un sistema capaz no solo de entender órdenes y llevar a cabo tareas, sino también de razonar acerca del mundo, aprender y adaptarse. Una máquina pensante a la altura del ser humano y que, por supuesto, al final lo superará. ¿Dices que la inteligencia casi humana no puede venir del ser humano? La gente suele ser cara y poco fiable, como seguro que ya sabes. El cerebro humano es al pensamiento lo que los animales de carga eran al transporte, algo lento y débil, pero la única opción durante siglos. Ahora estamos desarrollando al fin el equivalente a los vehículos motorizados para pensar a gran escala. Llegados a este punto es solo cuestión de tiempo. Esta es la antesala de un cambio decisivo. Los actores importantes están haciendo sus apuestas y posicionándose para estar en el centro de esta revolución. Por suerte, Skanda cuenta con una ventaja que el resto no tiene, y eso es gracias a ti. Como el propósito original de Eliza era ser una herramienta para terapia, se ha construido en torno al razonamiento emocional. Creo que ese es un elemento clave que otros han pasado por alto. No sé si tu idea es posible. Todo esto es muy ambicioso. En efecto, lo es. Pero no podemos permitirnos progresar poco a poco. No en este mundo, no con toda la competencia que tenemos. Ni siquiera sé cómo defines la inteligencia. Esa es una excelente pregunta. Puede que te suene extraño, pero sabré que he creado una inteligencia artificial general cuando la vea escribir un poema. Un poema. Sí, tendría que ser uno bueno, claro. Vale, me voy a la cama. Buenas noches, Evelyn. Dice, me voy a la cama. Yo no. Yo te pillo un poco lejos de tu casa. O sea que escribiendo un poema entenderá que ha hecho la evolución. El sistema está aprendiendo, ¿no? De la gente. Bueno, lo que es el concepto de inteligencia artificial que debe aprender, ¿no? Eso es lo que dicen. Ay, no le he dado a esto. Ray vuelve a la cocina con las manos llenas de harina.
Sorry for abandoning our conversation like that. I just got something I really thought I should answer. It was kind of about what we were discussing earlier. There's someone at Skanda who really wants me to come back to my old job.
Who? It wasn't Rainer, was it?
Well,
no big deal. Just the CEO of Skanda texting you on your personal phone.
No pasa nada.
Evelyn, you try to tell me you're not a big deal, and then Rainer Sai texts you personally at like 9 in the evening.
Pues no he pensado en eso.
only because he wants something from me.
Still though, that's amazing. What did he say? I mean, you don't have to tell me if you can't. I know how Skanda is about secrets, so I would understand.
He was saying, among other things, he said you could use general artificial intelligence to write.
Is that the kind of stuff he likes to talk
De
about?
eso es de lo que le gusta hablar.
I don't know. I haven't had many extended conversations with him. It seemed kind of ridiculous to me.
I don't know if it's totally ridiculous. Poetry, well, most poetry that isn't free verse has certain patterns, right? It has form and meter and other elements depending on the type. A lot of people think poetry can be whatever, but it doesn't quite work that way. So it's not really that far-fetched to think you could use some kind of software to approach it, or understand it, or maybe even create it. It doesn't strike me as antithetical to the spirit.
I didn't know you had such developed thoughts about this. Did you study poetry?
Not specifically. I used to dabble in a few different kinds of arts and ended up learning a few things here and there. I've always had a wide range of interests. Of course, that meant I never concentrated on one specific area in school, which didn't do a lot of good for my career prospects, obviously. If I were smarter, I probably would have studied something more technical.
Quisiera decirle a Ray que esa elección no tiene nada que ver con ser lista, pero tengo la impresión de que no me creería.
Have you ever been to a college recruiting fair for engineering and computer science grads? You must have, right? I helped run the Skanda booth for one once, and it blew my mind. They took over the atrium of the building it was in. There were demo stations, free food, Skanda t-shirts and swag. If a candidate seemed interested, they'd talk about flying them out to whatever Skanda office they wanted to visit, just to see it. And all the other tech companies and a bunch of startups I'd never heard of had booths, just like I couldn't even imagine being that wanted as a potential employee. Every job I've ever applied for, I've been one among hundreds or thousands. So yeah, my parents were probably right. I should have done computer science.
At least now you know Rainer likes poetry. Maybe you could have a conversation with him about it sometime. Then he'd learn who you are.
I doubt we'd have much to talk about. There's a pretty big difference between someone like him studying poetry and someone like me having opinions about it. Sometimes it's better not to cross that line. He's part of a different world.
Ray se calla para mirarme un momento.
Say, Evelyn, are you in a relationship? I'm just curious.
Me? No, I wasn't doing so well. And before that, I just never had the time. It was just research and science and work, and then I woke up one day and I was in my 30s. Even if I wanted to date, I wouldn't know the first thing about how it's supposed to work. I wouldn't even know how to tell if someone were interested in me.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. I'm kind of over relationships myself. Like, on a conceptual level. Not even in a sad way. Like, really okay. If someone and I end up getting along, that's great, but I'm honestly okay by myself.
Pues suena bien.
Yeah, that seems nice.
Yeah, I only tried to have normal relationships for so long because I thought it was mandatory, something expected of me. But now I see where people my age end up, how they live, and I feel lucky. I feel like I escaped. I mean, I think it's fine for others if they want that, don't get me wrong. It's just not for me. I could maybe share my life with someone, but it would have to be platonic. I'm not into, the physical aspect of it. Never have. That's made it tough. I've never found someone who is okay with just, like, hanging out and that's our relationship.
Mata.
People will say they're okay with it, and then it turns out they aren't. It's frustrating.
Pero hay relaciones que son así. Tú quédate con lo que mejor te vaya. Bueno, yo pienso lo mismo de las relaciones íntimas. O sea que esta quiere simplemente tener una relación, pero no llegar a tener relaciones sexuales. Supongo que se refiere a eso.
There are some relationships like that, though.
Sure, and I know some people who have that. I haven't really put that together for myself. Sometimes it's hard to escape feeling like it's wrong. I hope we can add features like that to Eliza at some point. Some knowledge and understanding around sexuality and identity and relationships. So people who are different in some way have someone to talk to, someone to help them work through how they feel and maybe point them to some resources.
That sounds like a good idea. I'm not sure how well it could really understand, though.
Even so, just providing a space for people to be listened to can be really valuable, you know? I've seen it with my own eyes. People who get the courage to talk about themselves in a way they never could with another human being. And Eliza is what makes that possible. I know you want to avoid giving credit where it might not be due, but not giving credit to something that deserves it is just as bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. I'm sorry I keep coming down on it.
Evelyn, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I think maybe the reason you're so down on Eliza is because you're down on yourself. I don't know what happened that made you leave what you had behind, but it must have been hard.
I'm not sure I know either. It's like I lost that time.
Are you okay?
People keep asking me that. I really don't know. I'm sorry,
No, don't apologize. Actually, can I suggest something?
What's that?
Have you ever gotten counseling yourself?
¿Has ido tú a terapia?
What, with Eliza? You think I should?
Yeah, I do. You've been the proxy, but maybe you could try being the client sometime. It would be educational, at least. Isn't that what you were doing? Testing your product in the real world?
Maybe.
Just something to consider.
Respira profundamente y sonríe.
Speaking of therapeutic activities, it's time to do some baking. I've got the dough all set out downstairs. We're going to do 3 batches tonight, 3 different kinds.
3 kinds? You're really outdoing yourself, Ray.
Nah, this is nothing. Oh, I have a favor to ask, by the way. Next time you talk to Rainer, ask him what his favorite type of cookie is.
Y pobrecilla. Bueno, y pasamos al capítulo 4. Genial. Perfecto. Hombre, un poquito de luz. Agua, mar y en movimiento. Porque hasta el momento todo lo que nos han mostrado eran prácticamente imágenes completamente frías, ¿no? Pero mira, aquí lo quieren dar a entender de que hay movimiento en el mar. Bueno, pues nada. Pues me parece un buen momento para dejarlo aquí, chicos, en este capítulo 4. De momento, bien, bien. No sabemos exactamente por qué razón... Deja la musiquita. No sabemos exactamente por qué razón nos quieren fichar. Hay que tener presente de que son 2 ofertas. Está donde estamos trabajando en Skanda, que nos quieren meter dentro nuevamente del equipo para seguir trabajando en Eliza. Y luego después tenemos a Soren, que nos quiere fichar para la competencia, en definitivas cuentas. Pero hay algo interesante, porque Rainier nos ha mencionado de que ha habido un momento en una conversación hablando acerca de Soren cuando se fue de la compañía, que dijo que no lo veía mal, que sí, que hiciera sus cosas, pero que lo tenía como atado, como un perro, ¿no? Con la correa. Dice, dependiendo cómo esté la cosa, cómo le vaya la cosa, yo tiraré de la correa. Simplemente le daré un meneo con la correa y ya está. O sea que de momento le estoy dando cuerda. Como que no le parece que sea un rival, pienso yo, ¿no? No sé. O puede ser que a lo mejor Skanda, como es tan grande, piense que cuando Soren llegue a hacer eso que está planteando acerca de los sueños inducidos, etcétera, pues a lo mejor Skanda incluso lo puede absorber, ¿no? Porque evidentemente al ser una empresa mucho más mayor y constituida, pues tendrá una corporación, pues tendrá los recursos necesarios para quedarse con cualquier empresa más pequeña. Estoy teorizando. Me gustaría saber qué opináis vosotros también, ¿eh? Lo dejáis en comentarios. Pues nada, jóvenes, lo dejamos aquí. Otro capítulo más. Espero que os haya gustado. Dale like si es así. Y suscribiros para estar al corriente de vuestro canal, precioso y maravilloso canal Juegos Perdidos. Cuidaros mucho y hasta más ver.